What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Overdose. I'm your host, Don Jaye. Today I'm joined with a special guest, a returning guest. Introduce yourself.
Danessa El Rhea.
And where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Danessa El Rhea, or on YouTube because I am going to be a fellow YouTuber.
She's been saying that for months. Oh, we'll see.
Danessa El Rhea on YouTube. I already got some videos out, and you guys can listen to my music. Danessa El Rhea on Instagram and magicalintentions.com if you would like one of my handcrafted crystal gemstones.
Okay.
Let's get it.
The video we're about to react to and you give us your perspective on is things to avoid. Now, I haven't seen the video personally, so I don't know what to expect. But before the video begins, what are some things that you look for to avoid in relationships and even in life in general?
Convictions.
What do you mean? Convictions
like
as
a criminal conviction.
Oh, damn. So, hold on. Damn. Hold on. So, if a guy is like, hey,
If he's like, I'm convicted, I'm like, oh.
That turns you on, or that's like a no-go?
No, I don't like that.
Okay, gotcha.
I just like to be not on any radar, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, got you.
So, if he's got like a criminal history, I'd have to, depending on what it is, if it's like, if he was protesting to protect the animals, then I'm like, all right.
Gotcha, yeah.
But if he's got like a criminal record, I'd say no, because most criminals that have like a repeated criminal offenses over the years, they're usually manipulated, con artists, just not good guys in general, I'd say.
Yeah, I would.
So I'd say that. Things to avoid. Womanizing. Because if he's jumping all over everywhere, then chances are he's slipped up and, you're risking getting burnt.
What, you mean like STD wise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Just like, if you hear a girl's like, oh, she's been around, or a guy like, oh, he's been around, you're usually like, oh, because, that means like 9 times out of 10.
I would disagree. Only because when a guy sleeps around, it's different when a girl sleeps around.
I mean, I don't like either one, honestly.
No. I don't know if that's necessarily true. So again, and then maybe you specifically after I explain, but I don't think girls in general. If a guy is sleeping around with a lot of different women, then inherently he has something of value that a lot of different women find attractive. So he built that up, whether it's his looks, whether his status, whether his money, whether it's whatever it is. He built that up to a degree to where all these different females are like, oh, this dude is dope, let me give him sex. Versus a woman, I'm guessing you can literally go downstairs and just scream out to the bars, hey, I want sex, and it'll be a line of dudes if you just semi-attractive. So that's why it's not the same when women compare men and women to getting sex, because one, you worked for one, and the other one, you was just born like that.
Yeah, but okay, well, me personally, why I don't like a guy that's like been out here, it's because like I hate that feeling when you go to an event or a venue and you like are talking to a female and you're like, oh, how are you, blah blah blah, and y'all are having a conversation, and then afterwards you find out like, oh yeah, me and that girl, we had something going on, or whatever. Like I'm sure that's happened to everybody, like where you've been somewhere and then you see them talking and then they're like, oh yeah, well, me and them, we had something going on.
That's understandable.
And then if it happens like 10 times,
yeah, that's crazy.
You're like, well,
yeah,
who haven't you been with out here? Like, don't throw it around like a McGriddle. You know what I'm saying?
That I would agree with the don't throw it around part.
I just don't like that. I don't like to know that like whoever I might be married to one day and have kids with has just been out here. Okay. I don't like that.
Okay, but I'm guessing you want a guy that has some type of value, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm guessing, so it's to me personally.
Okay,
no, hold on. To me personally, it's so crazy to me that women want a guy with value, but he needs to be like a virgin in a sense of.
No, because I have value. Lots of people have value. That doesn't give you the go ahead to just like, well, I have value, let me just go and be intimate with as much people as I can. Like, if you have value, you should actually probably, but I'm also somebody, I believe in spiritual ties and spirituality and stuff. So I always tell people, like, once you've connected, like there's always going to be that cord there. Okay. And I'm somebody that just, I think that sex is something to be taken very seriously. I think that your body is a temple, all that stuff. So I'm a different sort of person. I'm not here for like the casual do whatever you do, and if it's a high value man, you have to understand that he's going to be out here on the land. Like, I don't like that, because I feel like there's a lot of beautiful girls out here that could just be going all over the place and getting materialistic things and reaching levels of success. But the reason she shouldn't do that is because she should have respect for herself and value for her body and her intimacy, and realize, like, okay, just because I can go do this, I shouldn't, because A, B, C, D, and E could happen. Versus if I just protect myself and save my body for the people that I'm actually in a relationship with, that respect me, that care about me, that something is actually here that matters, I feel like then you create even more value for yourself.
Well, yes, I 100% agree with you, but you can't put the same lens as a woman on a lens as a dude. As a woman, you should be very selective with who you have sex with, who you spend your time with, etc., etc. You guys look for quality. For men, it's not necessarily about quality, not at first. It's about quantity. Then, obviously, when you get a mountain amount of money, and as you get some mountain amount of experience, and you get game, you get blah, 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 then you will be like quantity and quality, and it's kind of like goes both and both. But for most men, again, to be able to have sex with a lot of different women, you have to have built up something to even get to that point. So my question to you would be, would you be 100% okay with the dude that only makes $48,000 a year, but he's monogamous to you and he loves you, but he will only ever make more than $48,000 a year?
Absolutely. And we will have a fine life in Argentina, where you can have a great life for $20K a year.
Okay.
And we will live a life full of monogamy and happiness.
Okay.
No drama, no STDs, no baby mamas, no setups to get robbed. It's Gucci over here. Like, okay. I'd be happy with that, just because to me, the mind is everything, and experience, and I would feel happier knowing, like, okay, maybe I'm not living in a $2.5 million house somewhere, but I know that I'm going to come home and I don't have to worry about, like, this guy has been entertaining all these girls, and he's got a secret relationship over here, maybe a secret baby over there. He went and had sex with this girl and then crawled in the bed with me. Like, I don't have to worry about that. So I would rather take the pay cut and just figure out how to navigate that in a way that we could both live a very good life. Like somewhere where he's only making $48K, which is actually a good amount of money. You could go live somewhere else and have a great amount of money.
That's the medium. That's why I always
and just know that he's here for me. Like, he's got my back. He's not trying to hurt me emotionally. And some girls, they don't really care as long as you're giving them money and gifts. They're like, whatever, go have another girl, because those girls usually have their little person on the side too. So they're like, oh great, you can go while you're distracted by that. I can go and get distracted by this. But I'm somebody.
Hold on, pause. Which is unacceptable.
Which is unacceptable. Oh, because it's a girl.
Yes. 100%.
But I'm somebody that's just like all about loyalty, and that means so much. I would rather have loyal friends and a loyal partner in my circle and loyal family members than have all of this money and fake people surrounding me. I cannot have that in my life. Because my mental, I'm one of those people that I just cannot have it. It drives me crazy. It makes me. It puts me in a negative place. I have to have stability and loyalty, and know that, hey, you got my back, I got your back, and we can both have peace of mind knowing that neither one of us is going to do anything dirty to each other. I
got you, but I want to be very clear on this video, because we haven't talked about it yet on this video. We haven't even started the video.
Talk about Kev Sam.
No. I want to be very clear that men and women show loyalty differently. So your lens of loyalty for a woman, which is fidelity, meaning I only have sex with this one man, is not the same for a man to be loyal to you. And I just want to make that very clear. But let's go to the video and let's see what he talks about. Let me skip this
because
part.
in order to be a high value man, you must exercise sexual discipline. Shout out to Minister Jap. He calls it dick discipline. Sexual discipline. Sexual discipline is one of the most critical areas to where men who could be high value have ruined themselves. What does that mean? Sexual discipline? You got kids everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids by 4 women. You're not high value because you lack sexual discipline.
Okay.
I hate that.
No, I disagree 100%. I rarely disagree with his points. Maybe he might clear it up, or maybe I'm just different. But I'm thinking he's looking at it as a lens through monogamy and monogamous relationships. For instance, Muslims has multiple women and they have multiple wives and they all live under the same roof. So by his standards of what he said specifically, maybe he will say, if you Muslim or blah, 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 then that's different. But they are, they have multiple women. They have multiple wives, so that means they have multiple kids by different women. A lot of guys, even biology speaking wise, that's literally the perfect scenario. Is for one guy that's making a lot of money, that's strong, etc., and he has multiple wives.
No.
2, 3.
Because even if you have a lot of money, you're not able to provide everything that child needs. Like, yes, the kid needs money. I mean, but they also need like a male figure to physically be there to teach them things,
See, you
know?
you even no.
How are you gonna have the time?
You
to
are
go
literally
to wife to wife?
You. I guess you didn't hear what the fuck I said, but listen very carefully one more time. They are all under the same roof.
Yeah, but that's very rarely. How many people do you know out here?
How many Muslims are there? What do you mean? That's a whole religion. That's like millions of people that have multiple wives and they all under the same roof. So in that scenario is what I'm saying is the ideal scenario for both parties. A woman has, other women that can take care of the kids and she does her own things on some things.
Okay, that's the Mormon polygamist religion as well, but I don't fall into that category.
Gotcha.
I can see a lot of harmful things wrong with that category.
Okay.
And if you've also kept up with the 19 Kids and Counting shows, you can see what happens when you have so many kids.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 19. That's a little crazy.
So when you have so many kids, and how are you gonna have enough time to provide each and every one of those kids the actual like one-on-one attention, talking to them, spending time with them, teaching them everything that they need to know, spiritually wise in life, when you have, I think it's just too much going on.
Okay, so question then.
You know?
So no, question.
And
so
so much selfish.
No. Hold on. No. You're not finna get away from this one. So let's say me and you. This is I don't know how old you are now, but let's say me and you are both 18, right? We love each other. We in love. We say we're gonna spend the rest of our lives with each other. Every 2 years we have a kid. We end up with 10 kids because I just want 10 kids. You want 10 kids. What's the difference between that and with this? What you saying?
Because I'm just somebody like personally. I see how there's already way too many kids as of right now that don't have all the resources that they need.
Okay.
So don't you think it's kind of selfish to sit here and just as a single family unit push out all these kids when there's an overabundance of young children that don't get any of the resources that they need?
No, that's not my problem. My problem is me and my seeds and my women or
that's what I'm
women.
saying, but that's like a selfish perspective way of thinking. I'm thinking abundantly, the community, everyone around me, the planet.
Okay.
I'm not thinking like if I lived in a selfish reality, I would be like wanting to have 20 kids because all my kids.
So I don't. Here, I'm gonna break this down.
Pop out as
and I've
much
never
as I
talked
can.
about this. No, hold on. I've never talked about this on air. So let's talk about this. No, that's not selfish because what I think I am a very intellectual, logical person. So if I raise, 10 kids to be the same exact way, one may be a doctor, one may be a lawyer, one may be a politician, one may be et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now I wouldn't say replacing because that's a very strong word, but I guess I would use the word replacing. In a sense, I'm replacing the dumb people. I'm replacing the people that are less intelligent. I'm replacing the people that are less worthy to be in leadership positions, and it kind of changes the dynamic of society. So
like a cult. Like a Don Hudson cult, an overdose podcast cult.
It wouldn't be a cult. It would be more of I guess you can call it, but I don't even know the definition of cult, but it would be more so a movement of logic. But
how would you have the
reason.
emotional and financial resources to deal with 10 children?
But that's my point. I wouldn't have 10 children unless I know for a fact I can take care of 10 children, financially as well as emotionally.
But it's not just financially.
No, as well as emotionally.
A lot of these rich people and rappers and entertainers and athletes, they get passes because they'll have 5 baby mamas, 10 baby mamas.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, well, it's fine because they have a lot of money. It's not all about the money. Some of the most messed up people I've met in life are only child kids that have a lot of money.
I agree.
Because they didn't learn, not to be selfish, and they didn't learn all the emotional things that they needed because absent father, 9 other baby mamas,
I agree.
full career, hobbies of their own. They're out. I mean, think about how difficult it is just to, you don't have any children.
No.
I don't have any children. My life is so chaotic as it is. I could not imagine adding 10 other lives to that. I just could not
But
imagine.
I could if I am, I don't know, 45 or 35 and I have X amount of money and X amount of time and I built my business up to where I only have to put in a certain amount of hours.
If something breaks down, an emergency happens, you're going to round out all 10 of your kids.
What do you mean round out?
Like if like we went through COVID, that was a global pandemic. If an emergency happens, if it was worse than that, if we went into war or some weird thing happened, you're gonna round up all 10 of your kids, all of y'all's belongings, and hit the road. Versus if you just had like a smaller family unit that would be easier to maneuver safely.
Yes, but again, you using your lens for your kids and your situation. I'm using my lens for my kids and my situation. My kids will know how to shoot, kill, hunt, grow foods
A cult.
throughout the earth. In a sense, whatever you want to call it, I want a strong family unit. Whatever you want to call that is what you want to call that. So again, if the devices were up to themselves and we were out in the world naturally, you know, a lot of people would be killing each other. But if you saw the relationships, for relationships, it would be strong dudes financially or physically or etc. with multiple women. That's how it would be.
Yeah,
so,
but we're not in that world anymore. We have access to resources, and we don't need all these people. We need less people. Now, would I love a society that was only pushing out intelligent beings that cared about the communities around them and making the world a better place? I would love that, because most of what I see are a bunch of ratchet people having 5-6 kids.
Okay.
Instead of intelligent.
Let's get into it. No. Let's get into it. So if as a man,
can
right?
I just stop having so many babies?
No. Listen. As a man, right? I'm a man, you're a woman, and the world is not monogamy. Let's try to picture the world as polygamous, and monogamy is actually the rare thing. And I say, oh, you have a baby. Do you honestly think a man is going to leave you for another woman if the woman is okay with the man having another woman? No, it's not gonna. Majority of the time, they're gonna try to work it out. They're gonna be like, yo, blah blah blah, whatever problems we have. Most of the time, it's about fidelity that people break up. Most of the time, it's about cheating. That's why people break up.
Why do you think it drives me insane and crazy?
Exactly, but if your mindset was changed to be, yes, my guy can have another guy.
Yeah, but my mindset could change to want to eat humans. Your mindset could change to do all sorts of things.
Bro.
Like, that doesn't mean that it's what's best for society as a whole. I do not think that what's best for society as a whole are a bunch of broken family units with a bunch of drama and a bunch of kids that aren't getting all the resources that they need.
But
you know what I'm saying? But if everybody that had a lot of money was like, okay, well, since I have enough financial resources, I'm gonna have 5 kids, 6 kids, 7 kids, and I'm also gonna have 2, 3, 4 wives that live within me.
Okay.
Think about how difficult it is for humans already to get along perfectly with no problems, to live harmoniously. And now in one single family unit, there's 20 different drop-offs. Like, the tree is branching out all sorts of way.
Okay.
When we already have over 6 billion people on this planet, and most of the people on the planet are still living under the means of poverty. Most of the people are.
Because
so of
broken homes. And that's the key that you're not missing.
Which is why you should have to have a driver's license to have a child.
Wait, what the fuck?
You get yes or no. Nope, no babies for you.
That's a slippery.
And then you get injected with something that makes you never be able to have a kid.
I've actually thought about this. No. I've actually thought about this, but that's a slippery slope.
It's the cult.
That's a slippery slope.
Overdose.
That's a slippery slope. So if you go down that road, then you're controlling people in a sense of what they can do with their bodies and etc. Now people are fighting. Now wars are happening. Now people are fighting the government and etc. That's a very, very, very slippery slope. So do I think that to some degree there should be what do you call it?
Why do you have to have a license and a business? Why do you have to have a license and permission for everything in the world besides having kids?
Because
the most important thing, having
body.
humans.
That's why. That's
taking care of.
I don't want to get too political. Now we're going to a whole other direction. Let's actually go back into the video.
If you're
We
here for
haven't-
the microchip, give this video a thumbs up.
What microchip? The fuck?
If you get permission to have a baby by the government, you can get a microchip that will allow you to procreate. And if you don't pass the test, then they'll just keep an eye on you, make sure you.
Do I think that certain standards should be there? Yes, but that's still the other side of me understands that that's a slippery slope. So let's just continue.
Back to Kate, Sam.
What the fuck?
Oh, we're going there tonight. That's why I say people who are music, athletics, or entertainment are not automatically put in a high value category because their money comes differently, number one, and number two, because so many of them tend to lack sexual discipline. Meaning, shout out to young lion Ramil Amir. Less than 10% of your time needs to be devoted to dealing with women when you're a single man. You need to be spending 95% or more of your time, or 93% or more of your time on your purpose. 7% for women. But see, far too many guys out there be like, man, I wish I could be doing what you do, man. If I was in Atlanta and doing what you do, I'd be cutting and I'd be doing it. And that's why you're never gonna be nothing, never gonna go nowhere. Because how much is enough?
Okay, so I got two things for this. Yes, I 100% agree that you should be, and I'm talking to the people that's watching right now, not even you per se. So yes, I agree that you should be going after your purpose, but I also understand I'm a person that never had trouble with women. Before the status, before the money, before all this shit, etc. I've never had trouble with women. So I can but I can understand if you did have trouble with women and that was something in your teenage male mind that you just need a woman. I want to fuck up, because I've had those same emotions. So I can't sit here and tell a guy, hey, don't worry about women, go work, blah blah blah. When at the same time I felt how strong of an urge that is to go have sex and go procreate, etc. So it's just two sides to that.
Have you ever sought to like provide more discipline and control in that area?
Of course. What do you mean?
Like there's plenty of reference materials out there that
of course
teach you.
But I'm
to
again.
get rid of those
I've already had a lot of experiences.
devious mind thoughts.
I've already had a lot of experiences. I've already accumulated some type of wealth, some type of status, etc. So I've already been through that. I'm talking about for someone that has never been through that, that's never gotten those type of girls, that's never been with as many women, etc., etc., etc. It's hard to tell a dude, oh, don't worry about women, don't blah, blah, blah. It's basically like a rich dude telling somebody, hey, it's not all about the money when you're struggling and you're trying to make ends meet.
Been there.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can see both sides. And yes, do I agree 100% that you should be out here on your purpose. Because if women is what you truly want, you being on your purpose and getting to that purpose, or even just a journey of that purpose, is more attractive to women because they like ambition, they like things like that. What are your thoughts?
I think that everyone should not have any sort of intimacy unless you're in a loving relationship with someone that cares about you, that you trust, and just focus on building skills and positive hobbies and networking and building your financials and growing yourself philosophically and spiritually and becoming the person you're meant to be. And then when the time is right, God will bring you your mate. What's good? You know already. Like and subscribe over to the podcast.
Stupid. I do like that. I like 90% of that. Again, I'm just not the type of person to tell another dude his feelings or his urges are not valid, that he wants to, go out and have sex. So let's continue.
We all want to go out and do stuff, but you gotta have control over it,
Again, who defines control?
I want to go out and rob a bank, but I'm like, no, I shouldn't. That's not nice to the rest
First
of
of
my
all, that's
community.
super duper over exaggerating just having sex and robbing the bank. One is fucking.
You can't get pregnant robbing a bank.
Let's continue.
See, that's why they can't. That's why they keep coming to me. You're gay. You're this, you're that, because you can't sit there and pin a scandal on me. Because what I do in my private life, the women I deal with, you're never gonna see splattered all over the place because I have discipline.
Facts. Facts.
And in order to go into high value status and high value men seeing you as a peer, that is one of the two things they look at. They look at your network, or your ability to network, and your ability to keep favors and secrets. And Are you a disciplined man? Men who are undisciplined, who are reckless, are bad for business. Let me explain.
I agree.
You might be a high value man. Okay, you may have all these things, but if you out here cheating on your wife and you're breaking the rules, you're doing it, you're leaving behind bad publicity for your marriage, no outside babies, no STDs, no public embarrassments, no putting the family brand at risk. Those are 4 primary things.
I agree.
But
I
if you as a
agree.
man are out here undisciplined, hitting chicks in the parking lot,
Yuck.
doing all kind of stuff, I don't care if you got $1 billion, you're not high value.
I agree.
Because if you can,
I can't get behind that 100%. Like, he's there for me personally, 90%.
No, man, because there's too much germs out here.
I get it.
You know?
But what if me and you married? You probably can't do this because you're a different person. But let's say I'm married to a woman and we already have an understanding that, hey, I get these urges. I actually want to execute them. Are you okay with me executing these urges? And I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be blah blah blah. I'm gonna be
And then
blah,
she's
blah,
gonna
blah.
say, "Sure, honey, that's fine." And meanwhile, she's gonna go on the side and do that too.
Which is why guys don't
That's
tell
why
you,
I try
but,
to
yeah.
explain to guys is because y'all want that, and y'all will find girls that are like, "Oh, I love you so much. That's fine. I understand you have needs, baby." And then they love that you're doing that because meanwhile
Then they can do what they
go
want.
and do the same thing.
Gotcha.
And then when they find out about it and there's a confrontation, they can say, "Oh, you have needs? Guess what? I got needs too.
Gotcha.
Guess
Yeah,
what? And I can get way more needs served than probably you can."
True.
So
Which is true.
that's why I say it's got to be a mutual respect. And if you're like some ratchet person that doesn't want anything in life and you don't have any plan and you're just floating through trying to make another day, then whatever. You don't need to have kids at all. You should be building yourself up and not get distracted by hooking up all over the place and getting all this thing started that you can't take care of. And if you're somebody that wants high levels of success, that requires a lot of discipline.
Yes,
you don't
I agree.
want people, when you're at a business meeting, you don't want there to be, "Did you know that he hooked up with this girl and that girl and he was out on his wife last night at the strip club?" You don't want them to talk about that.
Here's the analogy.
You
No,
want them to
hold
talk
on.
about positive things.
Here's the analogy I want to throw to you
Look at
and
Kevin
to Kevin.
Hart.
No. Here,
all
both.
these people that their legacy gets brought down by these embarrassments to their family.
Yes, but here's
You know?
here's the analogy I want to throw to you as well as Kevin, as well as anyone. And if y'all want to talk about this in the comment section, you're more than welcome to. If you are working, me personally, I work so hard sometimes I literally forget to eat. If you do that enough,
And you're way too busy to be having multiple partners.
but
If you can't even eat.
let me finish. So if sometimes I forget to eat and I do that on a regular basis, guess what happens? Your body will start telling you, "Hey, bro, you need to fucking eat," and you will start seeing signs of low energy, low motivation. Even though you might have high mental motivation, right? So you have the urge to work and etc., but you're missing out on something that's fundamental for you. Now, I'm not saying sex is fundamental for you, but to some degree, it is.
No.
As a guy, I'm letting you know right now. A lot
I
of guys
promise
would
you,
say,
if you don't go get it busting, you will not explode. You'll still live. You can still focus on other things. Like, look at the Buddhist monks that live in the hills that are so philosophical and know all this like intense things about life. They don't have. They're completely celibate because they've put their whole lives on growing in the mind and like getting full control, discipline. Obviously, nobody that's watching this wants to be a Buddhist monk.
and let me give context to that.
But I'm just using that as an
No,
example.
I like that example.
It's possible for a man
I like
to
that
have
example.
discipline, to have
Yeah.
control, to channel that energy. Like, all of us have chaotic energy. All of us have things that are more primal that we feel the need to do.
Yes.
But what makes you go above that and be extraordinary is when you have control over it to say, "No, I got other things going on."
Yes, I
get
would
what I'm
agree, but here's the difference. The difference is a lot of times with this Buddhist stuff, because I've actually looked into it. I actually wanted to go there and be there for like a couple of months, etc. But they live that life. If you a person who maybe just had sex once,
They would probably be the perfect boyfriend for me.
anyway, let's go back.
I'm just kidding.
So for a guy that didn't have sex, okay, it might be cool for him to not have sex because he don't know what he's missing out on. if that makes sense. But for a guy who have had sex and just now is in a very dry sprout, or he's dry,
I'm not saying
whatever
be
you
like
wanna
a
talk.
little virgin weirdo that lives in your mom's basement that's scared to look a girl in the eye. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like have control to
I wasn't
not
saying that either, though.
every single opportunity that comes your way, like learn to say, even though I could smash this girl, I'm just not going to.
Oh yeah,
You get
no,
what I'm
I
saying?
agree with that.
And I feel
I
like
agree with
most
that.
men these days
I
are
agree
just
with that.
like anything that comes their way, they're like, all right. And
Oh, no.
you should have
Okay.
control
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
like, where could this go wrong? Or maybe I want to keep my energy to myself. Maybe I don't want any sort of connection to this person. You know, like there's nothing wrong with exercising discipline and just being like, I got other things to worry about. I'm not trying to get involved with this person. I don't know anything about them. They could be crazy. They could be weird. They could have a boyfriend that follows their location to my house, and now I got somebody knocking on my door. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's so many things
sounded like it was
versus
personal.
just focusing on like your own stuff, getting yourself together. And if you're in a relationship, people are so busy. I just don't understand how.
Here
That's
again,
horrible.
to put a button on this whole entire thing is my overall thing is this is what I'm saying, to be very clear. I understand why guys want to chase after women, as well as chase after their passion, their things, their etc., because they have urges and needs that they want to be fulfilled.
Okay.
Now,
people
hold on,
rob
no,
banks
no,
because
hold
they
on, no,
want
no,
money,
no,
because
no.
they have
Let me
urges to
finish.
have their
Let me
money
finish.
fulfilled.
Let
Like
me finish.
we can
Let me
do
finish.
all this
No.
all day.
So as a dude, I'm just saying I understand that, but I do also understand that if that's what your goal is more women, then you have to become a high value dude. You have to do discipline. You have to say no to certain women. You have to be on your purpose. You have to say no to certain even outings, which are just friends, not even just women in general. You have to be very cognizant of how you use your time. I'm saying both. So I'm understanding that as a dude that the urge is sometimes so strong that you literally can't function unless you do it. That's who I'm talking to. The people that have that fucking...
And if you or a loved one have ever suffered from that, you can go visit 1-800-GAIN-SELFCONTROL.com. Because, come on, y'all.
Oh my
Your loins
God.
are firing so deeply that you can't just be like, no, I'm just going to go watch a movie or play a video game or read a book or go run or go work out. Like, you can't just be like,
Why do you think
understand.
OnlyFans is booming like it is? Why do you think porn industry
It's not like y'all are living in a desert and you haven't seen women in 10 years. I'm literally just asking men to just have self-control and discipline, unless it's going to be with a quality person that they can see something.
Maybe this
because
is
if
the
you do it like
disconnect.
that, then if it's a quality girl, then you don't have to worry about her causing drama with you, causing problems with you, bringing you any STDs. You know, she's going to be probably responsible and make sure you don't have unwanted pregnancies or anything like that. Versus just like any girl that you're attracted to. Like, well, I'm a man, I have money, I have things set up for me, I'm going to take the opportunity.
Here's the thing that you are missing. Here's the disconnect that you're missing. Number one, most guys are not getting sex like you think they're getting sex. They're not even getting offers like
because
you
they're
think.
on OnlyFans.
Not
looking
even
at
that.
a computer instead of trying to build skills to talk to a woman.
That's the result. The fucking initial thing is because women is a global marketplace now. So instead of, let's say me and you lived in the town of Rome, Georgia, and you didn't have access to these athletes in Atlanta and these athletes in California and etc., you only had a small pool of dudes that you can mess with in Rome, Georgia. So if I'm the dude in Rome, Georgia, I could mess with the top girls in Rome, Georgia. Versus now that you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have all these different things, she like, this dude in Rome, Georgia, whack compared to this dude that's willing to fly me out, to willing to take care of me, to willing to buy me this, buy me that. So the girls are making the standards even higher of a threshold. So the dudes that are below that threshold are not getting play out here. That's why the thirst comes out of, that's where the thirst comes from. That's why they gravitate towards OnlyFans and porn and blah, blah, blah. My overall thing is this. Yes, practice discipline. Yes, practice being on, valuing your time and valuing those things. But at the same time, I understand if you want to take some of that time and then put it into a woman to have sex, to have relationships, etc. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know, I feel like there's Playboys in every town, in every city. You could probably go to the Chevron and Deontay's there with 10 baby mamas asking for money for a cigarette. I don't think it's necessary.
I don't know why I vision that shit.
Like, oh, you're an athlete. Like, obviously, if you have more money and you have more powerful anything, if you have more resources, you're going to be able to get more with anything. Fake friends, jewelry, properties. If you have more, you're going to get more. But just because you have more, all I ask people is, you know, make sure you're being kind and respectful to others, that you're not out here taking advantage and manipulating people's emotions just because you have access to manipulate them, that you shouldn't. I think it's bad karma, bad juju. And if you're a man that is like up here and you just feel like you're running through girls all the time, you need to practice self-discipline, because that's how these great guys that are successful get caught up with girls like Selena Powell, you know, like these industry girls that they make it their goals to go find these successful men and find a way to blackmail them, expose them, extort them, because it's a challenge to them, and they know that it's possible, because unfortunately today's age, most guys, 9 out of 10, will take the opportunity from an attractive female. It doesn't matter who they are, and it could be that chance that you get that girl that says, oh, he raped me, or he did this, or he did that, and it's your word against hers. True. And look at all these great men in history that have these amazing legacies with that one blemish on their record, that one allegation, that one woman that had a baby out of wedlock when they were already had a family, you know, and it just taints their legacy. So in order to keep away from that, I just feel like it minimizes liabilities, it minimizes drama and negativity if you just gain self-control.
Got you.
You know?
But again, I want to finish it off with saying I understand when dudes want to take some of that time, some of that self-control, and exercise getting some poom poom. That's all I'm saying. All right. Where can matter of fact, let me see if he has anything else to say on the video.
You can't control your Johnson. You can't control my network. See, high value men look at other men who are potentially high value, because you don't start out that way. You become high value. Yeah. You're not born into high value. You must make yourself high value. It is a one man at a time thing. And it's like a group, a fraternity. And we sit back and say, all right, when I'm working with this guy, can he control his appetites? Discipline in all things, moderation, drinking, whatever your particular vice is, gambling, smoking, whatever. But the main thing is sexual discipline. And this is one thing that gets brothers too quick. You're out there slinging your Johnson too much. Put it up and get to French toast work.
French
See,
toast
when I said
work.
high value men cheat, I think a lot of women just said just because you got money, that's a license to cheat. No, it's not. It's a license to get you to stay competitive for your man. We got shit to do.
Okay. What are your final thoughts?
Hey, like he said, control your Johnson.
Oh my
and
God,
ladies,
bro.
keep your lady parts fresh and clean. Don't let anybody touch your treasures.
The overall thing is this. I'm not finna tell somebody what to do with their candy. I don't know if you watch Fresh and Fit, but I'm not finna tell someone that fought in nail and tooth to get inside the candy store to control what candies you eat.
I will, because you're gonna get fat and die of diabetes at an early age, probably, or have
You
high
are so against this shit.
or-
This shit's so funny.
That's why I keep saying, like, I can give y'all all the liabilities, all the cons.
yeah.
I promise you that pros list way longer.
I guess, but you missing out on the key component. Men are just programmed that way. So you're missing out on the biggest component, which is that's just how we are.
They're also programmed to kill and steal, but we had to stop doing that, you know?
Yes, but there's no laws against how many women
y'all
you have
are
sex with.
programmed to live in a cave and knock a girl over the head with a rock and take her back and have kids and keep her around tied to the tree for a few years.
No, we're
until
not
you let her
programmed
go
to do
for
that.
a younger
No.
girl that you hit her over the head with a rock.
We did not program to do
Like,
that. I do
come on
not
now.
disclose that information.
We can
No.
have self-control. Y'all practice self-control and self-discipline, and he might not want to tell you what to do, but I will, and I'm going to tell you, like and subscribe and keep up with the podcast. We got lots more coming for you.
And we can end it on that, as well as, yes, I'd say self-control, but I understand if sometimes you don't want to. That's all I'm saying. All right, like and subscribe. Peace out. Oh no, where can I find you?
Danessa Aurea.
Okay. All right.
Danessa Aurea.
And peace. What the fuck?